It's Bondzee Live, Trippin With Bondzee on YouTube.
Yes, it is. Pip, pip. How are you, everybody? Welcome. It's Bondzee Live, Trippin With Bondzee on YouTube and the Dean Blundell Network. We are live at the Hip Bar here in San Juan del Sur. Got a lovely crowd outside. It's amazing here. Episode 195. Can't believe we're really doing it. 5 away from 200, folks. 5 away. We got something really special coming up for episode number 200. Hopefully, no promises. Here we go. The boys are already bringing some shots. Cheers to everybody. Cheers, cheers. Good old fireball.
Attaboy.
Yes. What a way to start the show. Love those guys. It's friends last night here, so we went and saw sunset just now, which here is about 6 o'clock. So we did that. Had some cocktails on the ocean with some delicious. That's last night's sunset. Like, wow, we had an amazing day yesterday. We'll get to that coming up shortly. But yeah, coming up for episode 200, working on the Glorious Sons. Their publicist promised me an interview. Just reached out to her today, waiting to hear back. Episode 200 is coming. It might be delayed a little bit because old Bondzie's going to take about a week off or so, maybe 2 shows out of the 3 in the week. But I need a break before I get back home to Canada to 2 full-time jobs. Anyways, make sure you watch the show on YouTube, subscribe. It's Trippin With Bondzee. Smash the like button, the love button, everything else, the bell, whatever they say. Show's brought to you by the Hip Bar tonight, where we're at. $5 food specials. Brand new menu came out today. It's absolutely fabulous. Some stir fries on there that are new, and onion rings, a whole bunch of other things, as well as the old great menu that still kicked ass. Plus, the salads are to die for as well. $1 rum, $1 beer, $1 tequila. You can come here for $20, get full, get shit-faced, and maybe pick up a fine lady as well. 3 TVs for all your sports pleasure. And yeah, come and check it out, the Hip San Juan. Show's also brought to you by Shakespeare's Fine Dining, Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Easily the best steak you'll ever have in your entire life. Go check it out. They're open Wednesday to Friday, 5 till 9:30 p.m. Make sure you get reservations, 905-528-0689, or go to www.shakespeares.ca. Rezos, highly recommended. Best food you'll ever have, best service you'll ever have. All the celebrities go there. You should too. Hold on, I got to grab my glasses. I can't see shit.
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
I'm not.
You've got to be kidding me.
Stop it.
How old are you?
Yeah, well, I am getting old, and when you stare into a screen all day...
Yeah, it's like no name, no frills, Sally Jesse Raphael. Look at you.
And you love it. See, it's fodder for you.
You're handsome as fuck.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Shakespeare's Fine Dining. It's also brought to you by ScrambleClothing.com. Go check them out. That's Scramble with a K. They got sick wares, hats, T-shirts, hoodies, socks, undies, you name it, they got it. Whether it's for your wife, for yourself, for your kids. They got beach wear, surf wear, and also golf apparel as well. Go check them out. Scramble Clothing with a K, ScrambleClothing.com. Check them out. All right, tonight, Trippin With Bondzee, we got an amazing guest coming up. He's a Canadian musician, Canadian producer. He's worked with people around the world. His name is Michael Behm. He's got tons of great stories. You guys will love him. And he can also play and sing pretty awesome as well. So he'll be coming up shortly. Don't forget the Bondzee Trippin With Bondzee t-shirts are available. If you're in San Juan right now, get your hands on one. They're looking pretty fire. People are loving them. $15 US, $20 when I get back. I'm bringing a whole whack of them back with me. So if you haven't hit me up already, make sure you do. And if you have, I'll be home around the beginning of April, and we'll ship them out right away. All right? Thanks for the support, everybody. Love it. Listen, it was a year ago yesterday. That old Bonzarelli, his house was sold most of his belongings, and bought a 45-foot tour bus. There it is right there. I love that beauty. She's currently sitting in Phoenix, Arizona, waiting on my decision of whether to keep it, sell it. I think I'm leaning towards selling it just because of the lifestyle that I'm kind of currently living in, and I don't really want to travel around, especially with the gas price. Have you seen the goddamn gas prices in the States right now and in Canada? Like, good Christ. Unbelievable. So I think I'm going to sell it, but it was a year ago that we successfully made it across 8 states in 10 months, 8,000 miles. We had one minor major hiccup. Thank God it was never on the road or anything, or on the highway. It was in a campground. I had a little run-in with a boulder, if you will. $10,000+ damage, not a big deal. If you're going to do it right, they say. Anyways, it's pretty amazing to think that that's been a whole year. Since then, we rocked it all across the States with my boy Tucker there. Miss him dearly. And then and I got to meet some amazing people along the way, some amazing experiences. That's at the top of the mountain in California with my dog. The views from up there were absolutely sick. And listen, so many other great memories. I almost got chased out of California, too, by Reggie. For those that remember that whole shenanigans. Overall, besides the Reggie incident and his wife not being a very lovely lady, and the boulder, things went pretty smooth. Spent a month in Edmonton for Christmas, New Year's Eve. Got to meet some amazing people, including Locke, Wade, and Paulaway and his family. And I love them all. Thanks for having me there for Christmas and New Year's. Really appreciate it. And just fans of the show, folks. It's pretty wild that I spent Christmas and New Year's with some amazing people that I never even met before and are fans of the show. What else? Listen, and the things I've accomplished in a year. So we do Edmonton. I go home for a month, spend some time with my parents, and then we've been here in Nicaragua for a couple of months, kicking it and having a great time. The voice work's going amazing. My appearances on Dean's show are always a blast, and I can't thank you all for the support. Can't believe it's been a year, and I can't wait to see what the next year holds. Like I said, home soon to Canada. We'll be working the contract up on the island for the summer on a golf course. That's going to be absolutely sick. We'll have a ton of visitors come up and see me. We'll play some golf. I'll take care of the fancies up there, and really looking forward to it. And then back down here for the winter, November, back. And then I want to do Colombia. I want to do Brazil. And traveling's my game, and Bondzee's the name. So there you go. It's been amazing. It's been amazing being on the road. Am I scared that I sold my house to this year later? Fuck no. Best thing I ever did. I've got to have the most amazing experiences. You only live once. I live a different life than most people, and I wouldn't and don't regret my life for one goddamn second. I'm finally in therapy, drinking less than I ever have. I don't go home with 2 bottles of wine anymore and drink it till I pass out and then start drinking it in the morning. I really have come a long way, so pretty proud of that. All right, what else? What an awesome weekend here in San Juan del Sur. Shout out to my buddies. My boy, Chris Cram's going home tomorrow. It's pretty sad. So this weekend, we all got together. Yesterday, we watched the F1 series here in the morning. It was the first one. We'll get into some more F1 in a minute. There he is, says Lovey Bondzee. Love you too, buddy. They're all sitting right out there. And listen, after the F1 series, which is absolutely crazy in its own right, we had 3 TVs going, 3 different angles, analytics, the whole 9 yards. Chris Cram is an absolute driving expert, knows so much about it. And I'm proud to announce that Chris will be joining Bondzee Live Trippin With Bondzee every single Friday for some F1, NASCAR, Indy talk. So if you're into the car racing circuit thing, we'll spend about 5-6 minutes rapping about car stuff. And then he's going to play a couple songs for us every Friday night to kind of round out the show. So looking forward to that. His knowledge about all of it is next to none. He has built F1 simulators, NASCAR simulators himself by hand and sold them to race car drivers whilst they were off for the COVID season when they couldn't drive. So the guy's amazing. Proud to call him a friend and looking forward to having him. What are we calling it? Do we know your little segment yet? Cram's Racing Corner. Maybe maybe we'll work on it. I'm not saying that I hate that, but we'll come up with something. He's coming up Friday, and he's been on the show playing some music, so you'll love him, and really excited about that. Anyways, what an F1 race yesterday. I don't know if you guys are into it or not. If you are, great. If you're not, stick with it. The series has been amazing, and what got me back into it, and I highly recommend you go check it out. Watch on Netflix the F1 series. It's called Drive to Survive. The series is absolutely amazing. It takes you behind the scenes. It feels like you're on tour with them each and every week. It gets down and dirty. It gets personal. It follows them around the world. And it's one of the greatest series documentary things I've ever seen. And it really got me back into F1. Check it out if you're remotely interested in car racing and stuff. But yesterday was the first one, and it was Ferrari's new cars are looking amazing. And then Red Bull, they won last year. Verstappen won, and they won the Constructors' Championship. This year, they're in trouble. Started out pretty good, but their car can't last. 57 laps, both cars. Not one, both of them out of the race before the car could make the final lap. It was absolutely embarrassing. They should be embarrassed. I don't know how you go from winning the championship to both of your cars not finishing the race on the very first race of the year. Doesn't look good for Red Bull, but we'll see. Does look good for Ferrari, though. They are on fire with that new car of theirs.
Can I interrupt you for a sec?
Yeah.
Are you giving armchair advice to race car drivers after doing that to a bus by any chance? Is that what you're doing?
Listen. I was sent the wrong way by the staff, whereas these drivers aren't sent the wrong way. They're only going, NASCAR, they're only going one way. In F1, there's a few twists and turns, but
go fast, turn left.
I'm just saying maybe make a car that's good enough to finish the race. That is the end goal, ultimately, isn't it, mate?
You're right. I got to give you that much.
Thank you.
But let's just pump the brakes a bit every once in a while.
That was a good chirp. Well done.
Love you.
Sucker. Anyways, after the race, it was astonishing to see the race end like that. I'm a big Verstappen fan, and I was shocked. But good on Ferrari. It looks like they're back. Their new car looks amazing. And anyways, I'm not a huge expert on this whole racing stuff. I'm just getting back into it. Really am enjoying it, but Chris Cram knows it all, and I'm looking forward to the new segment. So after the race was over, we collectively got all together, 5 bikes, 6 people, and we took a cruise. It took us about an hour to get there, all down the beach road and stuff, down to Ostianel, which is the last beach you can go to basically before you hit the border of Costa Rica. There's some champions right there. It was a really fun ride. We all stayed safe. There was no issues, and it's always fun going out for rides with your pals. And listen, on the way, we stopped at Cocoa Beach for some beverages. Some had water, some had beers, some had seltzers. Don't judge. We ran into this issue, an entire tree down. So we had to take a detour literally through people's houses in this cool little neighborhood in the absolute middle of nowhere, about an hour from where we began our trip. So at least we still got to get to our final destination. When we did stop at Playa Coco, though, there was a bit of a ruckus going out at the beach, and it turned out that a sea turtle, and it's a little early for this, but a mother had come up and made a nest. There she is right there. One of the coolest fucking things I've ever got to witness in my life. That thing is huge. I don't know how old it is, but the fact that she crawled out of the ocean, swam out of the ocean, crawled up the beach, made a nest, and was doing her thing. It was really, really fascinating to see and check out and be a part of. Definitely check it off the bucket list. I've released babies before, newborns, into the ocean. I've never seen a mom lay eggs on the beach, so that was something pretty special. And speaking of special, the mom didn't go far enough up the beach out of the tide, and because of the full moons right now, the tides are super crazy high here. Anyways, this video is fascinating. I happened to catch the tail end of it. This fella who takes care of the turtles that do come up and nest on the beach was awesome enough to grab the mother and move her into a brand new nest just outside of the tide's reach. Watch this.
That guy is legit trying to save this turtle. Just brought it up. Look at that. Wow, that thing's gonna lay eggs there now. That's the second one. Good for you, buddy. Good for you.
He had some help there. They were also getting wet rags and dropping the ocean water over the mom. She was in a bit of distress for sure. She was having a hard time. We actually got to see her move just briefly, but she really was struggling a bit. So it's cool that he got her into a safer place and was helping her out with the water and everything. But it was fascinating to see for sure. Something I hope everybody gets to experience because it was pretty dope. Oh, what else? So we come back from the trip. We made it back safe. I'm pretty sure now. I'm not 100% sure because it happened in the back, but I'm pretty sure we were stopped for a second. We were trying to find a place for lunch on our way back, and we're sitting there, and all of a sudden, whammo! Old Bonzarelli got stung in the shoulder. Of course, first time I don't bring my fucking backpack, and I forgot my EpiPen. So I went into full fucking panic mode because we're still about half an hour outside of town. Now, I know every one of you sitting, and I hope my mom's not watching. Gregory Scott, I told you to never, ever be without them EpiPens. What the bloody hell's wrong with you? Smarten up. Sorry, Mom. Sorry. Yeah, I totally just gapped. It's not something I'm used to carrying around here, there, and everywhere. I usually do have my backpack, and I forgot. So I went into full panic mode because it was itchy, but only in the spot where I got stung. I was waiting for my palms or my butt cheeks to go super itchy like before. Thankfully, that never happened. We made it back safe and just had a wonderful rest of the day. Went out and had some lunch at Twani's on the ocean. Got to see a bit of a live band there, and then we went over to Henry's. Listen, while we were at Henry's, great spot to see sunset. Also a great spot to people watch from the back end of the bar overlooking the main Beach Street. And you never know what you're going to see when you're there. This is what I got to see yesterday. Full-on photo shoot. Some lovely, beautiful-looking Nicaraguan women doing their thing. There's 2 more models right there. They put on a fantastic show for everybody that was watching. There's a bunch of perverts in the street that would go up to them and get their photo with the models and stuff. Pervs. No, I didn't go and get my picture. I know what you're all asking.
Bullshit.
I didn't want to walk all the way down the stairs and then come all the way back up. Had I ran into them in the street whilst I was down on the same level, I would have done a pervy picture shot for sure. Anyways, I got a video of the one girl. She's really getting into it here. This is fun to watch. Check it out.
Which one is it, Bondzee? I can't find the. You didn't show me
Let
videos.
Me help you out here. Did I? Oh, this one. I got it. Lovely little time it was. My neck hurt from trying to watch the sunset, turning around to watch the fashion show, and back and forth. Kind of got a bit of a strained neck today.
Sore wrist too, I bet.
That's every day, bro. It's not sore anymore when you practice as much as I do. You know that 10,000 hour rule? I'm probably at about 60,000. So I'm an expert in the masturbation department, that's for sure. Oh, and whilst we're on the topic of masturbation, everybody's dying to know about what happened. Did I ask my crush out? Did I let it slide and have no cojones? The answer to that is
I'm in for this. Oh, what did he do? Did he Wayne Gretzky? Did you Wayne Gretzky?
Before I tell this story.
Did you Wayne Gretzky that one like we said, Bonds?
So I woke up the next morning. I debated all day whether to have enough balls to ask her out because I just thought if she says no, fuck off, loser. Then I got to see her around town, and we have some of the same friends, and it would just be embarrassing. And I'd be like, "You're a loser, Bondzee. You're just a loser." She said no. Ha ha. Anyways, I put all my pussiness aside, Ryan, and I asked her on Saturday night. I texted her, said, "Hey, hope you're having a great weekend." Blah blah blah. Just did the chit chat, and I said, "Hey, I was just wondering if you would like to go out for some drinks with Bondzee tomorrow." That was about 8:30 because I was a good boy all weekend. As a matter of fact, I was home by 8 o'clock on Saturday night and had the courage to, whilst I was eating dinner and watching the F1 series. I just lost my train of thought because, sorry, I got 5 things going on.
You went home at 8 o'clock. You were a good
decided
boy.
You got to be a man, Bondzee. You got to be a man because you'll never live this down from friends and just myself if I didn't ask her.
Right.
So I send out the text, crickets for the entire night. And I stayed up till about midnight, nothing. Woke up the next morning, first thing I do, check my phone, nothing. It's like, fuck. 5 minutes later, after being up, just finished brushing my teeth, ding, ding, it's her. She thanked me and said it was super, she was flattered that I asked her out for beverages, but she had just met a fellow 3 weeks ago, and she said it would be unfair to both of us if she said yes for drinks. And I said, I totally agree. Thanks for letting me know. And I said, he's a lucky fella. And she said, thanks. That's so sweet of you to say. And that's how we left it. So,
well, now this is the same.
I'm
proud of you. I'm
There's
proud
no
of you.
laws needed. It doesn't matter. There's plenty more fish in the sea. You know, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And if it's not, it's not. There you go.
But is this is the same one that slapped your ass the other night, right?
Correct the mundo. See.
Within that 3 week span of meeting the other dude, right?
So what are you saying? Maybe I got a shot still? Lately?
I'm thinking if you turn the screws and you don't refer to yourself in the third person, you're gonna do just fine with that lady, my friend.
I did not say with to Bondzee with her or whatever. I didn't go in the third term. I just like to use that on here and bust balls. But
Yeah.
Wade says he's plans are off, calling and cancel flights. Sorry, Wade, to let you down. So I thought I had a photography gig for you, but fire for effect. He's in a dive bar in Sayulita. Is that how you say that? Welcome. Thanks for joining, bud.
That's
He's a beauty, isn't he? They're having
somewhere
no fun down in Sayulita, Mexico, are they, Ryan?
Oh, is it? I thought it was just a bar called Sayulita somewhere in Alberta.
No, it's actually they're still in Mexico. I'm shocked the two of them or both are still alive, to be honest.
Well, their livers might not be, but they're doing just fine.
This is true, but speaking of that 10,000-hour rule, their livers are pretty well trained in their own rights.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, and your lovely wife, I love how she chimes in. Ryan stole me from a 12-year relationship. Listen to him. Well, there you go. 3 weeks, 12 years. So and
she's not wrong.
So maybe we'll have to talk. You'll have to give me some how to steal advice.
Don't try, and it works like a charm.
Perfect. There you go. Duly noted. All right. What else do we got here? Mr. Behm should be joining us any second here. Anyways, it was pretty awesome, and we had such a great weekend. So I just mentioned 20s a minute ago, Ryan, and I showed you this picture in the pre-meeting. Folks, you got to check this bathroom out. This is a little different, isn't it, Ryan?
This is love. Like you imagine you're honking a deuce, and so is your lovely wife, and you guys can look at each other in
deuces.
You can look at each other in the eye.
Deuces. Like
you can simpatico poop.
Everything about this bathroom is fucked up.
Yeah.
Like even the space between them, dude, it just doesn't make sense. I kind of stood in both to try and get a feel for it, and I was just like, oh, what it is good for is exactly what we just said, like high five and pre-mid deuce grunts and stuff. It'll be and then,
fist bumps.
You know, the hearts are there to cap it off. Nothing says love like having a shit together.
And it's the double hearts is what's getting me. Like it's really meant for you to shit with a loved one, and I just don't understand how that.
Especially since this is the VIP bathroom at a high-end nightclub here in San Juan del Sur. It's not a place where you're gonna really go drop deuces. Maybe.
Wait a second. Did you say this is a high-end nightclub?
Yes, it is in San Juan.
Look at the floor.
Oh. This is it's brand new. It just got built, dude. Maybe the
from what?
Doesn't do it justice, but
from what? Where did they get?
Because they didn't even give me free drinks the other night. There, the cheap bastards. So
did you sell them? Did you sell them the toilet out of your RV? Like, is that what's going on here?
Hey, but mine's even nicer than those ones. To be honest, with you,
no shit. I've never understood couples that can do the whole, even single, like a single, somebody taking a deuce and the other one's brushing their teeth. I couldn't imagine.
That's wrong because shit part
synchronized.
I'm on board with you there. You're brushing your teeth and the shit particles are in the air, and nothing says love like eating your loved one's shit particles, right? Like
There's a Shizer video like that. I've seen that on the internet.
It just doesn't make sense to me. You and Ashley are like that. You're not sharing bathrooms at the same time doing stuff. Like
no,
it's a private thing to when you're taking.
No, we don't. No, we have 3 bathrooms in this house for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, like that's why we have 3 bathrooms.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Got to keep the romance, and that's not part of romance unless you're into some weird fucking shit. Let me tell you.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Do you fart around her even after all this time together?
Oh yeah, like that's more of a. It's more of a and it's more in a joking, fun way than it is just to let it go. Like it'll be a reaction seeking thing, and that goes both ways.
She might not like me asking this question, but does she fluff? Because girls don't fart; they fluff, right? Or toot.
No. She can rip a fart. Like that girl can burp. She burps better than me, for one.
Well, this I've witnessed when I got to spend some time there. Oh,
yeah.
I'll let you finish, but I have to rip you on something from earlier today.
Yeah, sure.
It was just, I loved how you threw me under the bus on the Dean Blundell show today and saying the rats showed up at your place after Bondzee had slept over in the basement right beside where said rats were housing. I could have been attacked and eaten by rats.
You brought them to my house.
Well, you know where I came from, Army Chris's house and Lachlan's house. So
yep.
If I brought them from anywhere, it was from those two filth rats.
But then Lachlan deflected by saying Alberta has no rats. So,
wow, touche.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Well, listen, you picked me up at the airport. Maybe you picked it up and jumped in the car at the airport.
Could have been. There's
a lot of filth rats running around that fucking YYZ.
Yeah, you can't be surprised that when you're not in the presence of the three of us on that show, that we must use you.
I do have to ask though, how's it come to be that there's no rats in Alberta?
We didn't get into the story, but apparently they had like a mass exodus thing. They put a lot of effort and time into it apparently, and I guess they got rid of them, and it's just not a thing in Alberta.
That's
I don't know. Maybe somebody in the
just
comments.
Like there's no snakes in Ireland. I'm moving to goddamn Ireland. It was Ireland or Scotland or both.
Ireland. That's St. Patrick.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah. I think that'd be a perfect spot for old Bondzee. Instead, I'm down here in Nicaragua where there's a plethora of poisonous, venomous, crazy-ass snakes down here.
Yeah, go figure. All right, I'm gonna scoot. You have a good show.
Thanks, buddy. That's Brian Lindley. He's producing for me right now. Really appreciate him for that. Listen, before I get to my guest, I got one more quick story. Those stairs that ruined my running streak the other day because I had a complete yard sale at the port and scared the bejesus out of this poor lady and tore my leg up on St. Paddy's Day. I was able to go back, and I'm proud to say I was able to conquer them. There they are. So a big fuck you to those stairs. Double gun salute. I have gone back and redeemed myself, and then proud to say that there was no more yard sales. So just wanted to throw that in there and show you guys the stairs that completely put a damper in my running streak. I was on a good one there, and smash that fucking when it's pretty tough to run when your shin bone's bruised. So, and I was already suffering through some shin splints, and if you've ever been a runner and have had shin splints, they ain't no fun. Trust me. All right, folks, without further ado, my guest is here. Been looking forward to this one. He was supposed to be on a while ago. I kind of canceled it. That was on me. I can't remember what the reason was. I think it was about food poisoning or something. Anyways, he's been waiting patiently. He's a friend of mine. He's a damn good, amazing musician and producer. I've had the luxury of sitting in his home and watching him in action. He's got a ton of great stories, owns one of the greatest sound production companies in Canada, and he's worked with some amazing bands over his career. Please welcome to the show, Michael Behm.
Hey, how are you, my friend?
Good, man. How are you? Thanks for joining Bondzee Live on Trippin With Bondzee on YouTube and the Dean Blundell Network. We're live from the Hip Bar in San Juan del Sur, which I understand you will be playing here soon, I believe.
Wow. So you're actually doing your show from the Hip?
Not all the shows. This is our second live from the Hip. Last Friday we did it live from 20s up in the VIP Icebox room, and they're a sponsor of the show, so I'd like to get it's fun to do live shows on location. We got a whole bunch of people up front watching, sitting around the bar as well. So yeah, it's been awesome.
That's fantastic. So I'm playing there on Saturday, from what I understand.
Awesome. With Bongo Bob.
Mr. Bob, yeah.
Mr. Bongo. You guys got an amazing relationship together. You've been playing music for a while. I'll just pop this up. We're going to touch base on this coming up a little later, but let's get right into the interview. You are born and raised in Vancouver area, correct?
Well, no, I was born in Winnipeg, but I grew up on Vancouver Island, and all my music career, from the time I was about 19, I never really ever went back to the island to live. I lived in the city and was on the road, basically.
Awesome. So Vancouver, you're raised there and stuff. How did you fall in love with music, and tell me how that all started? Because, Mister, I've never met somebody who has got more of a musical ear and not only can just play music, but you listen and hear things differently than the normal music listener. How did this all start and come to be?
Well, it's like everything in your life, it's a journey, It started with me just when I was first working in the studio as a person hiring somebody to work as my producer, I realized right away that this thing called the studio, I need to understand what this is, and I need to learn how to do this, because I understood it would be essential to my future.
Sorry, I was having a hard time hearing you, so I just got them to turn it up. So I appreciate that. I missed a bit of the end of that answer, but what did you fall in love with first? Was it guitar? Was it piano?
Well, guitar, of course, like that's my primary instrument. When I say guitar, I don't talk about guitar like, a traveling musician coming through San Juan guitar. I'm talking about Mick Jones from Foreigner. I'm talking about Eddie Van Halen. I'm talking about the guys that when you strap on that guitar, you're a superhero, right? Like that's a different thing, right? It's not, it's not like playing, acoustic guitar, which I love to do, but electric guitar is something completely different. It's a big deal. It's like playing fucking hockey. You're the center, right? It's a big deal.
Yeah. Self-taught, or did you get lessons? Did the parents throw you into lessons, or?
I didn't have parents. Like my grandmother brought all of us kids up, right? So we had nothing. We were like ragged ass poor. And she did recognize the fact that I wanted to do this and help me with it. I never took lessons until I already was playing the nightclubs. And then I was lucky enough to play with a very special composer that taught a lot of the high level guitar players around Vancouver, a guy named Colin Jarman. And big shout out to him. I don't know where he is now. I've lost touch of him, but he was a critical player. Like, he was schooled from people like David Gilmour from Pink Floyd. And, he was a transposer for EMI Music in England, where he would take and chart out, a band like Bad Company would release a record and he would chart out all of their, what the notation should be so they could sell sheet music. He was a really talented man. Like he was really, really good.
That's awesome. So you got into writing too, and that became a big part of your life. What was easier for you? Did writing come easier, or music, or just kind of both just really flowed together?
If you look at somebody like Chad Kroeger from Nickelback, he was always the primary writer of the band. And eventually he reached a certain threshold in his career where people seeked him out to work with them because he had a real kind of like green thumb for making hit songs. And I wouldn't say it was any different for me, it was, once I kind of established myself, when I was nominated for Songwriter of the Year this year or that year, you start to realize that you're good at this, right? And people would contact me and go, hey, would you like to write with me? Or a publisher in a foreign country would invite me to come to Finland or Sweden or Russia and write with the writers there. So it all kind of fell into place.
It's pretty amazing how you've done music, written and produced songs for damn near everything and people around the world, movies, TVs, including the Speed Network, the Food Network, Discovery Channel, MTV, the list goes on. Also popular shows like American Idol, Let's Make a Deal, Jersey Shore back in the day was super popular, Young and the Restless for all the yentas out there. And the list goes on in that aspect too. Over 300 placements in TV shows and stuff around the world, to be exact. That's pretty impressive. And like you mentioned as well, Michael, you've been up and nominated for some international awards as well.
Correct. Yeah. But I mean, what we do today is the only thing that matters. Like anything I've done in the past has no relevance. The only thing I focus on is today. I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning and I was working by 4:30, right? And the results that I produced today were results that I'm really pleased with. So it's all about what you're doing right now at the moment.
You've co-written and done some amazing work with some amazing people out there, including Pamela Oland, who has written and helped write songs and worked with Frank and Nancy Sinatra. That's some pretty big company right there, eh, pal?
Yeah, that song that we did with her was pretty special. You know, it was for an artist that has the same kind of power as Adele has. She's real good. Like, yeah.
That's incredible. 50 million plus views to be exact on your YouTube channel, which has international recognition from your songs and the work you've done. That's something to that's super impressive as well. You have an insanely busy career. You never stop. Is there any plans of slowing down? And what is retirement in your future, or is this something you'll just do till the day you die, Michael?
You know, a body needs lungs to breathe energy, right? To breathe your oxygen, right? For me, I need to do my creative process to live. It's just part of who I am. I have no interest in retiring. I don't know why somebody would want to do that. Like, I actually wake up every day and I really am looking forward to doing what I do. You know, the live performance stuff, that's a little different. You know, that requires, you know, showing up on time and a lot of logistics. And so it's, you know, for me, I enjoy doing it, but it's a little bit more of a commitment than making the music, because if I'm working on the music, if I want to go for a walk, you know, 1 hour into a project, I can go for a walk 1 hour into the project. I can't just leave, you know, the hip and go, hey, I'm going to go for a walk down the beach, you know, like they're expecting you to play, right?
It's incredible. Your music career, your writing career, doing music for all of these different avenues and channels across the world, then you still find time to open and start one of the, which turned into one of Canada's biggest sound production companies in all of Canada, dude. How did that all come about? And walk me through that. Where do you find all this free time? You do something I don't?
Well, it wasn't like I went, hey, you know, like, I really want to stop playing live in the clubs and I want to start a sound company. I had a child that was like, you know, from the time he was 2 years old, I raised the child by myself. And, you know, when he reached the time where he had to go to school, I couldn't really tour anymore. So I sat down with the people at the Sam Fellman agency in Vancouver, and I explained to them that, you know, I probably can't do international touring until he goes through his school and all that stuff. So one of the things that my manager did is he negotiated for me to put my sound system in 2 of the nightclubs on Vancouver Island. And then that was the introduction into renting sound systems to nightclubs. So like, it just kind of happened organically. I didn't really go pursue it, but I put it in the first 2 places. And then once I was doing a good job there, they used that as a reference to kind of like bring other people to come to me to do it. And then I kept buying systems, and eventually I ended up with 22 of the nightclubs around Vancouver and on the island. So it became a big deal. Like, it was a big company. Like, as far as an independent production company doing clubs, there was nobody bigger than me in the city. Like, I was the biggest guy in the city.
Yeah, that's incredible. Premier Productions. You promoted concerts by big bands like Nickelback, Nazareth, Big Wreck, Kim Mitchell, Harlequin, and Big Sugar, just to name a few, dude. That's some pretty impressive names, and must be, it's something like that started as something that, you know, so small, and then to have names like that behind it. 4 studios you owned as well have hosted international recording artists, writers, session players. Maybe you've got a special story you could share with us, one of your fondest memories between those 4 studios and the people and musicians you've met and worked with along the way.
Well, they're all fantastic, and it isn't like it's ancient history, because, you know, the last big session that I did was probably 1 year ago.
traveled the world. You've been, like you mentioned, some places before: Sweden, Russia, Finland. It's got to be pretty special to have that kind of reputation and be able to have that kind of just clout that people hire you from these places and get to travel and do that. That's got to be pretty awesome as well, eh?
Yeah, well, you meet people at trade shows and music conferences, and you might have a visit with them or an introduction, and they hear your work and they go, well, I'm available on Thursday if you're going to still be in town, right? So it isn't always like, because you have this big power, but it's because people are quite gracious, like, I don't know if you remember the guy that wrote the song Shannon. It was a major #1 hit in the 70s, but I was at a dinner party in Nashville, and the guy that wrote the song invited me to write with him on the following Tuesday I was with him on a Sunday, and on the Tuesday he said, if you would like, I could write with you, right? So we wrote a beautiful song together, It wasn't planned, but it just happened the way it happened.
Some of the best songs in the world happen that way. It's just kind of by fluke, and you're the right person, right place, right time, and some brilliant music is made. Speaking of brilliant music, I recently had the opportunity to sit down with you at your house/studio, and that was a pretty special day for me. And I thank you for having me into your home. There it is right there. You're with Bongo Bob, and I forget the other fellow's name. You're working on the album with him right now.
Scott Arnick.
Thank you, Scott. You guys are working on something special, and it's almost done. You're putting together this album for Scott and his band, which you premiere in. Bongo Bob makes, he does a lot of the percussion and drums on there as well. It was really interesting to see you play, to see you sit down in all your glory, dude. And God, your passion for it still, after this long in the game, was pretty special to see. I believe we have another video here that we can roll to show exactly what I'm talking about.
Sigamos. Same spot.
Just a little taste of what goes on at Casa de Michael. It is pretty awesome. Your producing skills, your prolific taste for sound, and you really do get into it. You love overlays and stuff. We got deep into that conversation. It really is amazing to watch you put a simple song together, and you showed me how it started and to where it is now. It really was special to see, and your talent for that. Just crafted over years and years and years of that, Michael, or has it always been kind of in your DNA to be that way?
No, it's like making shoes, right? Like if you work with a great shoemaker and you watch how he does his little things he does, you will learn the craft, right? Owning a studio, when I first built my first studio, I knew nothing about recording. I was just enthusiastic and motivated. But what happened is other engineers came to work at my place, and I observed their process and learned that pedigree. And that pedigree, Vancouver has the best engineers in the world. Guys like Delwyn Brooks, Mike Fraser, Bob Rock, Randy Staub, the biggest engineers in the world. All the biggest records that you hear now, they were done in Vancouver and Los Angeles. Those guys, they're good. They know what they're doing. So learning their skill set, it's a very closed world. They don't just volunteer that information to everybody. Like you don't just get them telling, like if you were a person that knew how to trade cryptocurrencies and every day you made millions doing it, are you going to tell everybody how to do that? Like it's not what you do, right? And that's the way they are. Like they're not going to give that up unless you're a person that they're close to. You worked with them in an intimate setting, and then eventually they start sharing that information. And this information, like, it's really precious, man. I can't tell you. Like, you know, I don't know what you do when you wake up in the morning, but sometimes I wake up at 3 in the morning and I just put on a YouTube video of Produce Like a Pro, and I just have it running so it refreshes my approach, you know, like I just refresh my information, because a lot of times you'll hear people in the music industry say, I used to do it that way. Like, I used to do guitars that way. I don't know why I stopped doing that. And what that says to me is that you stop doing the fundamental basics that makes you great. You know, like, there are some principles in audio. Audio's like aviation. You either fly or you crash, right?
Yeah.
And if you're not doing it right, you will crash. And if you're not mixing properly and you're not doing your productions properly, they will sound like this. And we don't want recordings that sound like we want songs that sound like living on a prayer. You know, we want it to be huge. We want it to blow us away, like, every time, right? And there's reasons why the music sounds great. And there's a lot of little tricks that we use to make it sound that way. And it's not what you think it is. Like, a lot of people think it's EQ and all that, but a lot of time it's filtering out the low end to make sure that everything's really clean. Because, like, an acoustic guitar, like, if I was to play an acoustic guitar, if I was to go, you just hear like the primary elements of that chord. But in the recording is picking up frequencies that are like 100 cycles and below, and that's making that sound less intelligible in the overall mix, because the 100 cycles and below is interfering with the bass guitar and the kick drum. So if you use a high pass filter and you get rid of all of the low end on the acoustic guitar from 100 down, suddenly the guitar becomes really clear in the mix. It becomes really audible, right? And so most young engineers, they would not even think of that. They would not go, hey, well, I got to roll off all the low end on the acoustic guitar and all the low end on every instrument that isn't a primary bass instrument, right? And so one of the reasons why my mixes, like, they're very clear and very clean, is there's a high pass filter on everything that I work on, everything.
Is it hard to find that fine line where you can overproduce something and kind of ruin it? And I guess that just comes with experience and practice as well, right, Michael?
Oh, man. Yeah. You know, like, the one song that I'm working on right now for Scott, and, you know, there's 200, maybe 300 edits in the acoustic guitar performance, which is the primary foundation of the song. And when I say 200 edits, you know, what I'm saying basically is that in one guitar performance, there is about 200 times where I've moved a note 10 samples forward or 3 samples backwards, just to make the feel fall perfectly with the timeline of the drummer, right?
Yeah.
And so, you know, when you listen to bands like Def Leppard and you listen to Hysteria, you know, like Love Bites, Animal, all those songs, people talk about Mutt Lange. Like, I know Chad Kroeger from Nickelback had a real difficulty working with Mutt Lange, but, you know, if you ever listen to the song, Burn It Down, remember Burn It Down from Nickelback?
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
You know, it's just fucking super solid, right? Like, it's heavy, right? But, you know, when you do a song like that, like, it's a very mechanical way of recording, right? Like, where everything's really precision. And that's the point, you know, like you're not making a Joni Mitchell song. You're making a song that's like, you know, it's hitting you hard, right? And the music I'm working on with Scott, we need the songs to hit you real hard. We don't want them to be like wishy-washy and like ambiguous and vague. And, you know, this is my jam, you know, like I go down and I play my songs at the local cafe, you know. That's not what it is. It's really, it's really like watching a UFC fight. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. You know,
that's awesome.
And, well, I don't know, like for me, that I don't know if it's right or wrong, but the world that I come from, my friend, I come from a world of no excuses, no bullshit. It's just like, if you can't play, get your fucking ass off the stage. Do not go on that stage. But if you can play and you can play well, thank you for playing well and play well for us. We want you to play well. When you go to a concert, you don't want Styx to sound like shit or Eddie Van Halen to suck. You want them to be as good as they are, right? And so, you know, the production of these bands requires taking a snapshot of that brilliance and not altering the brilliance, like keeping the brilliance exactly as it is. And recording is nothing more than photography. I'm just capturing what you do, you know, and if you do it well, hopefully we'll get something wonderful. If you don't do it well, we both are going to have problems with that.
Yeah, well, look, speaking of wonderful, the crowd is growing here by the minute. It's getting a lot louder here. This has been a wonderful reception. People coming out to check out Bondzee Live, Trippin With Bondzee here live on location at the Hip Bar. I'm with Michael Behm. Michael, before I ask you a couple more questions before I let you go, you were gracious enough to say you could play a song or two for us. We'd love to have that happen now if you could, and then we'll do the goodbyes. What do you got for us first? Is this off the new album that you've been working on, or is this something just different?
Oh, do you want me to play some of my own stuff or what?
I want you to play whatever you want and want to showcase. I know your talent, mister. You can pull anything out of your ass in 2 seconds.
Okay. Well, you know,
folks, it's Michael Behm. We're here live on location at the Hip Bar, San Juan del Sur. Thanks to everybody for watching out here and around us at the bar. This has been awesome. It's Michael Behm, and he's going to play us a couple songs.
Well, so I'd like to play maybe a couple of the songs that I've written since I've been in San Juan. You know, before I was working on Scott's project here, I just came here as a tourist. I didn't know how long I would stay here or whatever, right? So, but I live in Palermo, which is like on the outskirts of town, and the dogs quite often chase you, right? And so I wrote a song called The Dogs of Palermo, and it was about basically the dogs chasing me on my motorcycle, right? So,
happens frequently here in this lovely town.
My friend, it happens. So, you know, it's a little bit animated. I don't know how loud I'm going to come across through your sound system there, but that's cool. And I just want to do a shout out.
We'll crank it up.
I'm playing the Hip on Saturday, and I'm playing the Moonshine on Friday. Feel. I've lost you, Greg. Feel.
No, he's still there. He's still there, Mike. This is Ryan, the producer. Yeah, he's just trying to get the volume cranked up in the bar so everybody can hear you.
Yeah, I just didn't want to do it on camera, and thanks, Ryan, for taking care of that. But we'll crank it up, and we're ready to go. Rock it, buddy.
Okay, hopefully I don't overdrive your input because I kind of sing kind of loud. So, but here we go. This song starts with a salvo of dogs. Are you ready for me?
Yeah, we're ready when you are.
eating my dinner, howling in the night of the moon, howling way off in existence, came closer to every Jew. I felt something licking my toe and I said, Cacherito, ¿dónde está tu casa? Ay, 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 ay. We are the dogs of Palermo. Ay, 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 ay. Casa to casa, pequeña panchero. Ay, 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 ay. Somos las perras de Palermo. Mañana más comida para ti. The dogs of Palermo. Los perros de Palermo. When the sun came up early next morning, sleep by the light at my door. Overnight now, no escape. San amigo, you have some more. Cacherito, sí, sí. Ay, 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 ay. We are the dogs of Palermo. Ay, 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 ay. Mi casa, tu casa, pequeño crucero. Ay, 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 ay. Somos las perras de Palermo. Mañana más cálida para ti. Los perros de Palermo. The dogs of Palermo. You cannot own them, they need to be free. They'll bite you, they'll chase you, they won't let you be. We're the dogs of Palermo. Los perros de Palermo. My little blanquito amigo, we are but two the same. In the cantinas I chase all the chicos, well you chase the motors away. We are the dogs of Palermo. Los perros de Palermo. Ay, 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 ay. We are the dogs of Palermo. Ay, 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 ay. Mi casa, tu casa, pequeña pollo. Ay, 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 ay. Somos las perras de Palermo. Más camina por the street. We are the dogs of Palermo. Los perros de Palermo.
Dogs of Palermo. There we go. Michael Behm, live from San Juan del Sur. We're at the Hip Bar. Dude, that was awesome. That's the second time I've heard that song, and I love it. It's something about it. It's got just that Dogs of Palermo, because it's like you love them, but you want to strangle the little bastard sometimes too.
And the crazy thing about it is all of those dogs now are my best buddies. Like we all just hang out. They all love me now. They never chase my bike, but I had to go through the culling, I guess you would call it. You know, like
initiation, if you will.
Exactly.
Got to earn your keep up there. And now I hope you feed them well and take care of them. They come for you for snacks and stuff?
They always do, yes. I always got a tomahawk bone or something kicking around.
Always from Maggie's, the best steakhouse in town, hands down. Listen, I'd love to have you play one more before we let you go, if you could, pal.
Sure, man. Okay, so did I played you, dude, she's not your girlfriend, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, you know, in these surf communities, you know, like from time to time, you know, there's a lot of handsome young men walking around and surfing and stuff, and a lot of beautiful girls. And you know, there's a rotation happening where some of the guys are leaving town, some of the new guys are coming in town. So some of the girls that are long in the tooth, you know, like they know the program, right? And sometimes they were with one guy and then with another guy. There was one particular gal that was a real special girl that I observed, you know, that she was floating around a little bit amongst the brethren, right? And so this song came to mind called Dude, She's Not Your Girlfriend. It Was Just Your Turn.
Awesome. Michael Behm, live from San Juan.
Okay.
Let's rock it.
I got some good news. I got some bad news. Which one do you want first? This is hard to say. Saw her the other day with that kid you said you hate. And what he said went to my head. He said, she's not your girlfriend. It was just your turn. Dude, she's not your girlfriend. Don't pay no concern. Dude, she's not your girlfriend. Can you feel the burn? Don't be concerned. Get in line. Wait your time. Get in line. Wait your turn. Last week I saw that kid. Said he was sorry for what he did. Said she left me for another guy. My heart is aching and I don't know why. I know how you feel. It ain't no big deal. I said, she's not your girlfriend. It's your turn. She's not your girlfriend. Don't pay no concern. She's not your girlfriend. Call her unconfirmed. Don't be concerned. Get it right and wait your turn. Get it right and wait your turn. What will be is meant to be. Never got any less in me. Now you can pick any girl you like. So get in line and maybe tonight. Maybe tonight. Dude, it's not your girlfriend. It was just your turn. Dude, it's not your girlfriend. Don't pay no concern. She's not your girlfriend. Honor and confirm. Don't do the same. Get in line and wait your turn. Get in line and wait your turn. Don't be sad. It's your turn.
Amazing, man. Thank you so much. That's Michael Behm, everybody. Amazing musician, amazing musical producer. It was a treat to see you in your element at your home. Isn't it funny, Michael, how things have simplified and you're down here in San Juan del Sur now, and you're getting the perfect sound quality, same sound quality as you were back home in these fancy ass studios many years ago?
Well, we live in a world now where, recording is like flying a flight simulator. It's the same thing, right? The equipment's been modeled to replace all that hardware equipment. So I can show up at your house and do what I'm doing here, right? It's not a big deal, right? Like everything, as we say, is in the box.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It was really cool to see. How many bands to date do you think you've had down here since you've been transitioning, or not even transitioning, but you do bounce back and forth from Vancouver around the world, as a matter of fact, and San Juan, but you have had quite a few bands down here recording, as you do right now. As a matter of fact, you're just wrapping up that album with Scott, I believe you said. And how many have we had down here, and as many more coming now that the pandemic is hopefully wrapping up?
Well, I've only worked in San Juan with 3 artists, right? I mean, one album, like Fleetwood Mac, Rumors, took about 18 months to record. Tusk, Fleetwood Mac, took 3 years to record. Def Leppard, Hysteria took about 2 years to record, right? So I'm doing a record right now with Scott that every song is like 6 weeks, one song, 6 weeks, right? So like I've only been here like 13 months, and I've worked with him now for about 10 of those months. So although there's a local girl here that I want to record as a complimentary thing. She's a local Nicaraguan artist that we've raised money for and got her a new guitar and all that stuff. But I got to fit her in between the songs that I'm doing with Scott, because I've actually got another artist here. Lauren's working with me as well too. His project is not like a critical, it's not like a release that is requiring, it to be done within a timeline. So I've got till June to finish his songs, and I've finished about 7 of them. And so, I don't want to take on any more than what I'm doing right now. It's a lot. Like I said, this morning I was working at 4 o'clock in the morning. I was up and I was engineering by literally 4:35.
Yeah, it's a quiet time. Listen, man, I can't thank you enough for taking the time to play some songs, talking about everything you're into. We've only just scratched the surface. I know we haven't even got into all the other business stuff you've done in bars you've owned and clubs, and some of your other amazing stories that you have. I'd love to have you back sometime and get into all of that kind of madness as well on the flip side one day.
That would be fun. I've really enjoyed my time with you, my friend.
Yeah, thanks again. It's Michael Behm, everybody. You can find him on, you have your Facebook. You're on Instagram as well, at Michael Behm Freeman Show. It's Michael_Behm_Freeman_show. And then also your website, michaelbehmproducer.com. Go check him out. Check him out on SoundCloud. He's got some amazing music. Everybody's cheering in the background there. It's been a pleasure having you on Bondzee Live, Trippin With Bondzee on YouTube and the Dean Blundell Network. Thanks so much again, Michael.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah, take care. Have a wonderful. I love the shirt, by the way. Huge shout out for that shirt.
Okay. Thanks a lot, man.
Right on. Michael Behm, everybody. All right, Bondzee Live, Trippin With Bondzee. We're here at the Hip Bar, San Juan del Sur. I promised I wouldn't go over an hour because we're supposed to go for dinner with friends that are leaving tomorrow morning. They're like, come on, Bondzee, let's go. Jesus Christ. But we're having a great time, as you can hear. God bless everybody here. The support's been amazing, Lindley. One day we're going to have the whole crew down here, because I don't know if you know, but I got a bit of clout down here, brother. Oi, oi, oi. Look at what's about to come.
How many holding cells does the local jail have?
Thankfully, I do not know the answer to that question, Mr. Lindley, and I hope you never do. But listen, you really, 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 if I may, have to fuck up down here to get carted away for the night to the drunk tank, because I think the drunk tank here is literally on the streets. Just fuck, it's nobody wants to be laying on the streets at 3, 4, 5 in the morning.
I'd like to see you test it if you could. If you can give that a shot and test it out.
Sorry, I'm not gonna fulfill your dream nor Locke's of getting stabbed. But yet I can't promise neither one of those are gonna happen. I still have about 10 days here or so. So anything can happen. Stick around.
That's about it. Did you want to forego the video portion and just get the night going so you guys can get moving?
Yeah, why don't we roll one or two just because we always have fun with that. People want to see a couple, and then we'll literally do 2 more minutes. We'll show 2. I'll let you pick them, and then we'll get the hell out of here. And I appreciate your time tonight. I hope Glass is doing well. I see he's watching. That's awesome. I hope his dad's doing well. I hope. And we talked yesterday. Listen, everything's fine. Glassy's an awesome dude. I love him to death. He's done a great job for Bondzee Live and Trippin With Bondzee.
Why are you giving him a eulogy?
I'm not giving him no eulogy, for Christ's sakes. I'm just giving him kudos because I know he's struggling and he's going through a shit time. And
with his dad and stuff, it's really tough.
Mindset's at. And so I wish him all the best, and I love him too. So thanks for that comment, Glassy.
All right.
What do we got for a couple of videos before we get out of here?
Well, this one I'm sure is probably going to be you. I'm going to imagine at some point tonight.
If a hot tub is in my future with 2 hot girls, then I'm down. We've all been there. Don't tell me. Everybody watching this show has run into a screen door or at some point.
Just giving her.
On that video was priceless, though. But I like the way you were thinking. Hopefully you were cheering on Bondzee to be hot tub with 2 lady individuals.
I don't care who you're with. I just want to see you hit the fucking door. That's what I'm looking for.
I love you too, bud.
They say when sharks are in the water, make sure that you're not bleeding or you don't have any open sores. And it's because of their senses. They can taste and smell in the water.
Yeah.
I just wonder. I just don't know if shit does the same thing. Because I'm telling you, if this chick wasn't shit in her bathing suit,
Dude,
look at her face.
My absolute worst nightmare in the entire world. And I told this just a few weeks ago. I will never swim in the ocean again because of shit like that. I'm supposed to go to the Corn Islands.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to go snorkeling and stuff. But I don't even know if I can pull it off because I really want to do that and snorkel around and stuff. But be damned, I don't want to be eaten or lose a limb to a shark whilst underwater, you know?
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding.
And the last time I was out 3 miles offshore, frolicking around in the ocean like a drunk moron with dolphins, when God knows where there's dolphins, there's probably sharks and octopuses and whatever other crazy things swim under the ocean. And when octopuses? That euphoria of swimming with the dolphins wore off in 10 seconds, I swam like Michael Phelps to that boat, and it's because of that's all I saw in my brain. Roll it one more time to what happened to this girl.
Was there a streak behind you? By any chance? Like
no,
a shit streak?
I didn't see personally a shark or a fin, but the euphoria wore off and I was scared shitless.
It's funny because I think when the video started, I think she was speaking English, and then she got so scared she started speaking in tongues. That's what that looked like to me.
You probably would be speaking in some sort of foreign language too, dude. It would be a mixture of, oh my God, I'm going to die, tongues, complete terrifiedness, and the rest.
Exactly. All right, let's close off with this one. Look at this weapon. This kid, watch the fuck out. Watch this. Josh Allen's got nothing on this little guy.
Even fumbles the next one. Watch this. A little bit of a fumble. Recovers. Reset.
Boom.
Not a big deal. Holy mackerel.
He just keeps going.
He's going to have a plethora of puss in his future. That's one thing I know.
Or money.
Well, both.
You got to pick one or the other.
Well, one comes with the other. If you,
yeah,
if
but
you
then one goes with the other too.
Yeah, you're right. Listen, it was awesome having you aboard for the live show tonight.
Good to
Thanks
see
for
you,
filling
pal.
in for Glassy. You're the best.
Love
Thanks
you, man.
for sailing me down the river on the Dean show today to saying I brought
You're
rats into your house. Dude,
you
all
wait till
jokes
tomorrow.
aside, all jokes aside, that would scare the shit out of me. And I love how you made Ashley clean it up, by the way. Kudos to you.
I didn't make her. She just she needed it done immediately.
Should have been a man's job.
She exercised that.
Should have been the man's job.
She should have exercised. She exercised that demon. She wouldn't deal with it. So we'll have more details, I'm sure, tomorrow because I have more contractors coming. So we'll be on the show tomorrow.
I can't
so
wait.
check us out on DeanBlundell.com, at DeanTube on YouTube, and the Dean Blundell Show weekdays at 3 or 4-ish Eastern.
Whenever.
We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks, pal. Really appreciate it.
Enjoy your dinner.
Yeah, I will for sure. All right, everybody, that's it. It's Bondzee Live, Trippin With Bondzee, live on location at the Hip, one of my sponsors. Hope you enjoyed the show. Huge shout out to Michael Behm. Thank you for that guy. He's an amazing musician. I love him. I love watching him with Bungo Bob. It's a real treat. If you're in the San Juan del Sur area, make sure you go check them out. They'll be here this Saturday coming up, so make sure you check that out and go hit up michaelbehmproducer.com. Check out his website and his sound production, his music, SoundCloud, everywhere. Thank you again to Michael for joining us and doing that. That was amazing. Also, shows brought to you by the Hip San Juan right behind me. There's the $5 food specials every day. Come fill your belly. They got brand new menu. They got stir fries. They got sliders from cheeseburgers to the chicken burgers to the everything. If you're a vegetarian, they got some wonderful salads. Come and get it. They got dollar beer, dollar rum, dollar tequila. They'll take care of you here for sure. The bartenders are awesome. Come check them out. Show's also brought to you by Shakespeare's Fine Dining, Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. The best surf and turf you'll ever have. If scallops is your jam, you got to go there. Dad's been cooking in the kitchen for 53 years. I've known him since birth. I've known his son and daughter. They run the front of the house. You'll never have better service or food in your life. Make a reservation because all the celebs go there. All the big, anybody and everybody goes there. 905-528-0689 or www.shakespeares.ca. DeanBlundell.com is the place to go for the best podcasts, the best blog site. If you're bored, if you want the best information, if you want to keep up to date without the bullshit, there's no mass media bullshit at DeanBlundell.com. Go check him out. My boy Lindley over there is doing an amazing job. Everybody is. I can't thank you guys enough. The show is brought to you by Scramble Clothing. Also, Scramble with a K. Go check them out. www.scrambleclothing.com. That's with a K. Peace and love. It's Bondzee Live, Trippin With Bondzee, live from San Juan del Sur at the Hip Bar. We're going for dinner. Peace and love. Adios. Bye.
It's Bondzee